Alrighty, so here we are with a new league. Okay, I didn't do a draft analysis for this because draft analysis typically don't do that well, and I think that they're kind of overrated. You guys should know what most mons do by now. You should know what every mon does by now if you're in draft league. I don't think draft league has that many new players. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over my team, my main thought process with it, and then talk about the matchup for week 1. So I had like 4th pick overall or 3rd pick overall or something like that. And we're doing Ubers, so not a whole lot of broken Ubers were allowed. Magirna was allowed, Reshiram was allowed, Dialga was allowed, which my week 1 opponent has, Solgaleo, Pheromosa, things like that. The low tier, I don't think Darkrai was allowed. I don't know if it's in the game. Genesect was allowed, things like that. But all of this is to say that I wanted to go with a lot of just really good high tier Pokemon and then grab some low tiers that might be able to come to one game and do everything else, and then have 7 Pokemon and kind of sort of go super top heavy with my draft. I knew going into it that I wanted to draft Sun around Solgaleo so that way I could run Solar Beam to break through waters, but I also really wanted to draft Rain around it to be able to use Thunder to be able to break waters. So that way my opponents are forced into bringing like their bulky waters, but Solgaleo could beat them 1v1 with Solar Beam or Thunder respectively, and then that could make way for the Sun Sweeper to take it out or the Rain Sweeper. I got sniped of Torkoal really early on in the draft, which really sucked. I think it was around like round 3 or 4. So I kind of sort of just abandoned all of it and went with this like top 7 strategy. And I really like the way the team turned out. Solgaleo, Garchomp, Sylveon, Silvally, Obstagoon, Gengar, Rotom, Mo. I wanted Rotom Heat. I really like Rotom Heat, but it's a lot more expensive than Rotom Mo. And then Barbaracle. We've got Archeops, which I actually originally drafted something else in that spot, and I can't remember what it was. And then Raboot, along with Walrein and Shelmet. I have some really good staples on here that I always like. Shelmet, I love. Sylveon, I love. Silvally, I love. So I have a lot of really good staples on here that I really like. But I also have a lot of really good offense, which is kind of what I was really hoping for. Hold on, somebody just DM'd me. So yeah, team is very fun. Week 1 matchup, we're going up against Lux, who I played week 1 last season, and I actually ended up sweeping him with a weakness policy Regidrago, which was a lot of fun. I love that team. I wish I could have drafted the exact same team, but Regieleki and Regidrago are so expensive for no reason. Either way, let's just go ahead and look at the team that I'm going to be bringing. So I'm bringing this Rotom Mo. Now this Rotom Mo, I EV'd it to be able to live an offensive Fire Blast from Dialga, as well as an Adamant Life Orbed, Poison Jab, Close Combat, anything from Mienshao from full. So the goal here is to lead off with this, click Trick, and then neuter something. That's the main goal. The only downside to this would be is if he leads Weavile. Everything else, if I trick at a Flame Orb, it's going to be heavily neutered. The Mienshao, the Mudsdale, Slowking not getting Black Sludge recovery, the Zapdos, or the Dialga. All of them hate having Flame Orbs. So I really wanted to go with Volt Switch, Leaf Storm, Defog, and Trick. Really good lead overall. Matches up pretty well, gets me a lot of momentum. I then wanted to have my Obstagoon be one of my good breakers for this game because Facade Knockoff, Close Combat, and Gunk Shot hits the entire team for really good damage. And I'm only outsped by 2 things on their team. Well, realistically 2 things, because I guess Zapdos could outspeed me. But 2 of them I wouldn't want to stay in versus anyway, because if they're scarfed, things like that, they can just blow me backwards. So yeah, really good offensive combo here. Garchomp, Subtoxic, Earthquake, and Stealth Rock. I am Subtoxic for a couple of different reasons. One, if I click Sub and I can click Earthquake versus the Tapu Fini, then I'm good enough to be able to wear it down for my Solgaleo in the back, which is about all I need chip down, as well as being able to chip it down for my Barbaracle, which you can say I'm also bringing. So Sub Earthquake is really good for that. Subtoxic is really good for the Mudsdale, the Lickitung, everything like that. Very good offensively. But defensively, still really good. I'm able to get Toxics off on things like the Zapdos, which could be a good switch in, things of that nature. Next up, we have a bulky offensive sort of ish Solgaleo with Sunsteel Strike, Knockoff, Close Combat, and Teleport. Colberry to be able to take a knockoff from the Weavile or the Mienshao, and then just be able to try to chip things down. I only need a little bit of chip damage in order to win with my Barbaracle. I went back and forth a lot a lot on this set. I knew Shell Smash, Liquidation, Low Kick were going to be 3 moves, but then I went back and forth a lot between Low Kick and Rock Slide. And I ended up going with Rock Slide over Low Kick. Because at +2, Rock Slide still does a decent chunk to Tapu Fini. It does about 50% to Fizz Def Tapu Fini. Whereas Poison Jab would only be for Tapu Fini and I can OHKO it. But I would then have to risk getting Staticked with Zapdos for everything else. And I did not want to risk getting Staticked with Zapdos. And I valued that more than I valued being able to OHKO the Tapu Fini. So I ended up going with this set. This can just win outright. If I get up to +2, Low Kick can OHKO max HP Dialga unless it's a Chople Berry, which as you can see I have close combat here and close combat here to try to pop it. Rock Slide does 50% to Fini, as I said. OHKO, Zapdos, Liquidation does about 80% to really bulky thing, Slowking, and then it completely OHKOs Weavile, Mienshao, Mudsdale. I don't really touch the bottom 3, but I don't really care about them. And then next up we have Fizz Def Sylveon, just standard. This is gonna be my switch into Weavile to Mienshao, things of that nature. But overall, really fun team. I'm really excited to use it. But with that, let's just go ahead and hop right over to the battle. Alrighty guys, here we are with the battle. Hopefully land doesn't take a poop. But we're going up against a Lux, as I said in the team builder. Goal is to sweep with Barb. But no matter what, I pretty much have my designated lead, which is going to be my, I really didn't expect Glowking, by the way. It's going to be my Rotom. My, Obstagoon has a phenomenal matchup. Sylveon is really, really good here. They only have one real switch into it. I need to try to scout the item on Dialga as soon as possible. I really need to, because if it's Chople, that's what's gonna screw me. That's what's gonna screw me. But I also need to get some chip damage off on the Tapu Fini, because otherwise I won't be able to kill it with a Rock Slide. Yeah. Leading off with this, and I'm clicking Trick turn 1. Whatever they go into, I'm hoping it's Dialga. I'm hoping they don't let their, I'm hoping they don't let their Slowking be the switch in for it, but either way, leads off with Weavile. Wow, good lead, brother. I don't think I live a hit. I don't live a hit. I can't stay in, unfortunately. I have to go directly in my Sylveon. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the double right away. He might go for a knockoff, but I have a feeling he's going to go for triple axle. Which is the only real way that this thing can two-shot me is if it's banded. Goes for knock. Oh, I should have stayed in. Coming down to 159. Did 21%. He's not banded. He's probably boots. Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click Baton Pass. I don't think he should go for Poison Jab. He goes for Throat Chop. Okay. I'm going to go directly into my Solgaleo. Because realistically, worst case scenario, he clicks Knock and does 30% to me, give or take. So I'm going to go directly for a Strike, I think, a Sunsteel Strike. I think that's going to be the play I'm going to aim for. It's unfortunate that he led off with this, because if I had gotten my Rotom in, like if I had gotten that Trick off on Rotom, man, I should have just clicked Trick anyway. He's going to pop the Colbur. He could be sashed. Like, I could definitely see sash. Coming down to 162. Yeah, up to 32%. Yeah, he's jolly. So without the Colbur Berry, it is doing 50%. I can get a Wish off to this thing pretty easily. He is sashed. That's okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go for a knock here. It covers if he switches out into the Glowking or the Fini. He might want to save this thing for the Garchomp, so getting a knock off on something is really, really nice. Goes into Mud, which is good. Get rid of that thing's lefties. Wait, I didn't knock off an item. Okay, there we go. Whew, I got nervous. I'm just gonna go hard into my Rotom. Because realistically, worst case scenario, they click... I don't know. But I am gonna end up burning myself, which does suck. Went right back out into this thing. Man. Good read. Do I live a crash? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt I live a crash. I'm gonna go for a Volt Switch. I mean, realistically, this thing can't really do its job anyway. He goes for Icicle Spear, get 2 hits. Or 3. I'm fine with 3 too. Okay, you can stop now. Thank you. Okay, so I still have this thing around, which is good because I can trick the Flame Orb onto the Mudsdale, worst case scenario. And now that the Weavile is down, I'm going to take this opportunity to get the Flame Orb up on this. And then whenever he goes into the Mienshao next, which is what I assume is going to happen, they're going to go into Mienshao. I'm going to sack off my Rotom, see what they're going to do, and then I'm going to go back into this. Is this Mienshao? Yep. Okay. So this is kind of sort of what I said I was most nervous about. I'm just going to go hard into my Rotom, sack it off. I still have a lot of ways of pressuring the Tapu Fini that's not this, so I think I should be okay. Goes for U-turn. This should kill. Yep. And now, whatever he goes into, my Obstagoon will outspeed. Going to Caster. What's this? Slowking. I'm gonna go into this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna click Facade, because if they go into the horse, I want to be able to two-shot it. And if they stay in and they're not Fizz Def, it's going to do 83 to 98 either way. If they're Spadef, looks like they're Fizz Def, which is okay. They missed the Focus Blast. I would say I feel bad, but I don't, because it's Focus Blast. I never feel bad about Focus Blast missing. I'm going to click Facade here. There's a chance he could let this thing go down, which would be kind of big. It would be kind of big. They go into the Mudsdale. They sack this thing off, which is good. If they went into Mudsdale, I two-shot them. Most likely. I most likely two-shot them. So I have a feeling they're going to go into this thing again. I'm going to go into my Garchomp this time. And have them take rough skin damage. If they click close combat, there's a chance I could take 2. If it's Scarfed. I believe that's what it is, right? Oh no, I don't take 2 from this thing. But it'll lower its defenses and I can pivot into my Sylveon. And Sylveon can take 2 at that range. Goes for CC. I'm actually very confused because that didn't do as much as it should have to my Garchomp. Like, nowhere near as much as it should have. Unless you got like a super low roll, but I think what I'm going to do here is I think I'm just going to fire off an Earthquake. Like, I do want to get up rocks, but at the same time I don't, if that makes sense. I want to get chip damage off on stuff. So I'm going to fire off an Earthquake here. If they go into Finny, I'm getting the damage off I need. They go for U-turn, so they're going to take some more rough skin damage. I have a feeling that they're going to be Regenerator, which is okay. They're not choiced, which is good. And not really, I'd rather them be choiced if I'm being honest with you. Is this Finny? Yep, nice. And it was on an air balloon. And it was telepathy. I'm gonna click Toxic here. I do land, which is good. Moonblast would kill me if it's offensive. If it's fat, it doesn't. Scald. Do they get the burn? They do not. Good. Okay. No Misty Surge is kind of sort of hinting to me that the Mudsdale is actually going to be rest. I'm going to go into my Sylveon here and I'm going to try to get up a Wish. They switch out as well. What do they go into? Holy Grail. That's Dialga, right? Yeah. That is, as the cool kids would say, less than ideal. I'm gonna click Protect and see what it's gonna go for. Oof. That is scary. However, I think I can still beat this. I'm gonna click Hyper Voice here. Okay, it looks like it's about max HP. I'm gonna go into my thing here, expecting them to go for a steel type move. No, they're just gonna set up bulk ups. I have a feeling this thing's rest, and I have a feeling this thing's gonna sweep me. I'm gonna click close combat, and I'm gonna close combat until it dies. Galio. I think I can beat this thing. It also cannot... if it is max attack at +3, it cannot one-shot my Barbaracle, which is doing 46 to 55 with low kick. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in here and I'm going to click close combat until I die. I'm going to bring in my Barbaracle, and then I'm going to go from there. Because once this thing is gone, my Sylveon can win the game. They go for EQ. Oof. Can EQ kill me? It has to, right? Yeah, Earthquake definitely kills me. So Solg goes down. Garchomp into Obstagoon can kill them. I wish I had Roar on this thing, man. I really wish I had Roar. I'm gonna click Earthquake. I crit him. Wow, I got bailed. I'm so sorry. I crit him and I got bailed. Wow, that's rough. That thing swept me. That thing swept me. I got bailed. Especially because since he wasn't Misty Terrain, I have a feeling he was Telepathy, which screams rest. Bulk up, rest. Man. Feel bad. I feel bad. This thing is regen. I'm just going to click Earthquake again. If they go for a U-turn, they'll be taking a little bit of Rocky Helmet chip. If not, they'll be taking the CC. There's still a chance that I lose this. Like, there's still a very good chance. I'm gonna go into my Sylveon here. And I'm gonna go for a Wish, I think. If they go for Poison Jab, I can live it. If they go for U-turn, I have the Wish up in the air. And they went hard into Mud. I need Tapu Fini at 50%. I live a Heavy Slam from this thing unless it's Max Attack Adamant. How do I want to do this? I'm going to click Protect. Get this thing up to full. Go for Toxic. I'm gonna go for Hyper Voice. I need to use my Barbaracle to set up against the Tapu Fini, I think. Because if it's Fizz Def at +2, I'm doing 42 to 51. Getting it chipped down like that should be easy since it's Toxic. Please go into Fini. No, what? I think he was expecting the he was expecting the switch into Obstagoon. That's what he was expecting, which makes sense. Honestly, it really does. That also says it is Minshao. I'm pretty sure that's AV. Yeah, that is max HP AV. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go for another Hyper Voice. I don't think it'll kill. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't go for Heavy Slam. Goes for Toxic this time. So now what I'm going to do, I think my Sylveon can just win this game on its own. Wow, I still can't believe I got bailed out. Garchomp is a great Pokemon. Garchomp is a great Pokemon. I'm going to go for Hyper Voice. If they switch out, that's okay. If they switch into, they go for Protect. So they're Toxic, Protect, Stealth Rocks, Earthquake. So they're not Rest, which is okay. I need my Sylveon to go down against the Fini. He went for the double Protect, that's funny. That was his out. Like, that was what he should have done. Okay, so now I think what he's going to do is he's going to go into Fini. I need to get one Hyper Voice off against it. One. That's it. Just one. Went into this. I believe it's so he can click U-turn. Either way, I'm going to click Hyper Voice. If this thing switches out, then I win outright with my Obstagoon. If they switch into Finny, I'm getting off that Hyper Voice hit for free that I need. Yeah. And this next turn, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click... I think I might go hard into my Obstagoon, actually. Yep, that's all I needed. Because now poison damage will make it to where I'm okay. I think this is the only way that I can reliably win this and make sure that my Barb gets the smash up. Rock Slide to max Fizz Def Finny. Does 41 to 49. Next round it'll take 12%. It'll be at 49. After that it'll take what, 16 I think, and it'll be at 30 something. So he made the switch out too, which is a good call. He made the switch out too, which was a good call. If I clicked Hyper Voice again there, I think I won. I'm gonna go for Facade. Let him kill me. I then go into Cat, right? Because I'm at 50 HP. Versus... I live a close combat from max attack. Most of the time I do. It's a 50-50 roll. But I don't think you should stay in here. I really don't. So what I'm going to do is he'll die to a Hyper Voice. I'm going to click Baton Pass. He has the jab. Oh my god. He hit it till the very end. That was so smart. So what's funny is I actually do still have a chance at this because my Barbaracle actually has a chance to live a close combat. If they have no attack investment. So I'm going to go for it. This was such a good game. I got bailed. Then my opponent played really well. Yeah. GG's, man. My opponent just played really well. I don't really know what I could have done any different. It's unfortunate to start out the league like this, but you know, it is what it is. What could I have done differently? Like, he made a lot of really good doubles. Like, a lot of really good doubles. Like, the Weavile early on, the Mienshao double. Yeah. They just played really, really well. And keeping the Poison Jab until the very end was really, really smart. Really, 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 really smart. Yeah, that's all I can really say. GG's to them, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle at least. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.